Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Let's get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a Melody asking fans to investigate who's texting her son's phone. And then we're going to talk about who the culprit is. And yes, I have a lot to say about this craziness. Like, it's so out of order that this is acceptable behavior. But we're going to get into it. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment in the comment section below. So Melody went on TikTok live and she was asking people, her fans, to basically find out who's been texting her phone. So to give some context, she had a phone that is for her child, and I believe Martell must have given it to the side chick to use for some time. So Melody eventually gets the phone back, okay? And it turns out someone is trying to text Arionne, thinking Arionne still has the phone when she doesn't anymore. And it's talking about Melody. This is crazy because it's like, how do you play into the hands of the person you are talking smack about? That is when God wants to catch you, in my opinion. So in the text message, it reads something about, hey, girl, my jaw is on the floor from last night's episode, but I'm so glad Destiny called her out. And Miss Melody decided to play some games and respond, honey. She was responding and I was here for it. So she's like trying to find out what the person thought about it. And then the person basically says, I was there and the excuses were weak AF. And then Melody was like, weak AF, right? I'm like, girl, you know how to get the tea when you want to. Melody has been applying pressure. She has been putting her foot on everyone's necks. And I'm so here for it. Do you hear me? So the person basically says she's mad Destiny is still his friend and she probably thought y'all were already cool. I'm just here for the vibes and the fact that Melody was out here just like trolling this person, right? Now, I will say who the person is in a second, but let me give you a little bit of context before I tell you who the person is and then talk about my views about this crazy ass person, in my opinion. So Melody basically put out a reward, get her the proof she needs and $2,000, okay? Now, let's talk about who the culprit is. So here's the thing about Melody that people I feel like need to realize. Melody is a detective, honey. She knows how to do some research. She knows how to connect the dots. If you think she ain't gonna figure it out, she will figure it out. It may take a little while, but she gonna figure it out. So she was thinking, I'm thinking about the lingo, the way this person talks. Who does this person remind me of? She then goes into her phone, honey, and she saw that Stormi said something and used similar language. Yo, my damn jaw was on the floor like, what the F? Which were the exact words that were sent to Arionne Curry. The thing about language is people usually have a pattern of writing. Like when I see, like literally I have friends, I know how they write. So if I get a message that ain't the way they write, I already know someone has this person's phone. So the fact that people have patterns. So what is honestly, let's be clear. First, the country code shows Mississippi. Who do we know or that is from Mississippi? Okay. Then, if we now think about the lingo and how she writes and the similarities with the message, it is almost bulletproof that this is actually the same person. The other thing is, she does say hey as well with no punctuation. And I'm like, most people say hey or hey babe or hey this. So you mean to tell me you're saying hey? It's obvious that is how you write. And the fact that it's now repeated again is like, okay. And it's interesting because let's not forget, Stormi tried to make it seem like she don't know Arionne from a can of paint. They ain't friends and Arionne was messing with her best friends or her husband's best friend or something at some point, or they were best friends. Like, she gave us some cock and bull story. When a lot of people were exposing her for knowing Arionne, she made it seem like she told Melody about it and her and Arionne are not even that tight. They're not friends. It's more like a friend of. But I recall, now correct me if I'm wrong, but my recollection is that Arionne did basically insinuate that they were more than what Stormi was making it seem. But now we have the proof, allegedly, because with the way the pattern of messaging is, it is obvious that it could be no one else but Stormi. So my question is, Stormi, were you the one that actually made a recording that your mother was so upset about and saying, oh, Stormi ain't like that and all that kind of stuff, and was pushing and vexing for Melody? Why would you text coleslaw? Why? First of all, why do you still have that woman's number? 2, why would you text coleslaw if you ain't cool with her like that? It's like you guys just hate Melody for whatever reason and want to see her hurt or sad. I want to kiki about her pain. And that's why I feel like she continues to be blessed, because whilst you all want to be kikiing, she's out here minding her business. And guess what? Exposure always happens. You cannot stay in front of someone's face, play in their face, act like you ain't do nothing wrong. They just dumped you and you think exposure will not come. It's only a matter of time. That's the thing about people. People feel like ain't nobody gonna find out what it is they do behind closed doors and all their behavior. People will find out. It's only a matter of time. These things always get exposed in the end. Just wait and see. And look at it. Here it is. Obvious. Clear as day. You know, Melody said something interesting, and I'm like, I think people need to think about it. When you have, so she was saying that she may just stop rocking with someone. She may not understand why in the moment, but when she has a feeling in her gut that tells her something is not right, she pulls back and lets them show themselves. The thing about it is, if someone is a good friend, when you pull back, even if you guys separate and are not friends or whatnot, nobody is talking smack about the other. Everything is generally peaceful. We move. But why is it that when Melody pulls back, they be manifesting, showing terrible, disgusting behaviors? It is clear. Now we see all it is, which then makes me feel like Arionne and Stormi and Martell and some of these other cast members were probably scheming, plotting and planning, finding out a way they could potentially push Arionne Curry on the show in some way. Because why else are you kikiing with coleslaw? Why? About Melody. And I'm glad there was exposure, because these people act and lie and pretend like they know screenshots. If you're ever going to do some dumb ish like that, pick up the phone and call them. Although I hear they also record allegedly, but still, like, I don't know, maybe do it in person and make sure their phone is where you can see it. Like, I don't know. But I feel like people get comfortable. They feel secure. They're like, what's going to happen? But when God wants to expose you, you're going to be exposed. Melody did say that she didn't want to believe it at first, and she just repeatedly was like listening. Like, there's a voice in call recording thing. Like, when she called the number that texted, she was just like listening. But it was giving the same vocabulary. So the thing about it is, why would somebody like that? Stormi, you so-called have a multi-million-dollar business. Why are you so pressed about Melody Shari? Which that makes me wonder, is this why you're leaving the show? Because all of this exposure, you can't take it? Why? Why are you leaving the show? Because it doesn't make any sense. And I personally want bloggers with huge following to cover this, because I feel like a lot of people are getting into the thing where they're loving on Stormi, saying, oh, she's so real. But then I need somebody to come together, bring out all the receipts where she was talking about Arionne Curry and all that kind of stuff and saying this and all of that. If I wasn't going on holiday and I wouldn't be free, I would do it. Collate everything together, put out a video about it. And I want it to become like, with people with a little bit more larger following, way larger following than me, potentially put that out there. Because I feel like the world need to know exactly who they are dealing with. The world needs to know exactly who Stormi is. Because a lot of people give her a pass. And I don't believe in you out here pretend to not be friends with the side chick when you are in fact friends with the side chick and have her number and are texting her about the wife. Like, it's crazy to me. And I think that sort of disgusting behavior needs to be exposed. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I want us to continue the conversation in the chat because I have loads to say, but I don't want this video to be so long. So let's continue in the chat. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the chat. Thank you. Bye.